Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and today is my reading wrap up for the month of November. It was a good reading month. I have this nice stack of books here, and I'm going to go through each one, but I won't make you wonder what they are. Here are the books. We will start with Frida McFadden's The Housemaid. This was our book club book, and we read another Frida McFadden last year, Ward D, and it was very good. It was full of twists and turns, and this was also equally good. I think I read it in 2 days. I have the second one, The Housemaid Secret, I think, the red cover, and I will definitely be reading that one. So this was really good, and definitely her style of writing I enjoy. I enjoy the little bit of dark, spooky, but definitely the twists and turns throughout, and definitely at the end. So we have Millie, our housemaid, who gets this job that seemingly is, too good to be true, and then it slowly turns into kind of a bad situation with so it's a wife and a husband and a daughter, and she's the housemaid. So at first it's the wife, Nina, who you just think is like absolutely nuts, and this poor housemaid, Millie, having to deal with her. And you see a little bit of the husband, but then the daughter, it's a young daughter. She's probably like 7 or 8, and you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this, bratty little girl. And so it's kind of normal home life type things, but then there's a twist, there's a turn, and so very, very good. Highly recommend. I think now I will just sort of read anything that I come across that's Frida McFadden. I think at this point that's how I feel about her. So very good. This is Michael Pollan, Cooked. I have read so many of his books, and I love him as a writer. I love his books. And I thought for November, right before Thanksgiving, this would be a fantastic book because it's about food, and I definitely associate Thanksgiving with food. Of course, family and getting together, but food. And so he sections the book by the, what do you call it? Earth, wind, or not wind, fire, water, air, and earth. I was like earth, wind, and fire. And so the first section, fire, he delves deep into the roasting of, really barbecue and what that is to a lot of different people and how it is different to a lot of different people, but more specifically roasting whole pigs. And so as I was reading it, with Thanksgiving around the corner, I was like, oh, we were going to do ham. Like maybe we'll do a whole pig. So that was fire. And then it goes to water and how you cook with water and soups and stews and braising. Yeah, braising, I think. Yeah. Then from water, it goes to air and talks about how to create starter cultures for a sourdough bread and how important the air is and the little air pockets in the bread where all the flavor is and how that affects what kind of loaf you produce. And then earth is about fermenting vegetables, fermenting grains, but more specifically the vegetables. And just, he always organizes his books in such a manner that it's clean, it's easy to follow, but then there's a lot of nuance and there's a lot of meandering down little, like maybe childhood memories, or as he's meeting with different chefs, different, cheese makers, bread makers, farmers, all the different people, associated with the food and the cooking, and his experiences. So you sort of get like all of the information, but then you get all these little side stories. So I very much enjoy it. I am actually not finished with this one yet. But I'm almost finished with it. and I definitely will finish it before the end of the month. So I still have like a couple of days. So I love his books. I'll pick up anything that he's written and I'll read it, and I love it. But just, yeah, lovely, lovely book. And then this was a random, this was a little free library grab, and I just thought it was like sort of based on the back, like a historical fiction about the flood in France. And this book, what is she? A book conservancy. She is an expert at book conservancy. So when books get wet, how they preserve them, how they save them, how they, go in. But this was, they would like put maybe like a vellum material in between each page to kind of soak in. They would freeze them. They would completely take them apart, rebind them. So it was this historical fiction about, it was a true, the flood in France, as an American woman goes to France and Italy. Or no, I'm sorry, maybe it wasn't Italy. So I didn't finish it. It was flip-flopping back between French and Italian, and some of the conversations, and I was getting a little bit lost in what was happening. Obviously, it was written in English, but they did throw some French and Italian in there. And I will be honest with you, I thought that it was going to be more of a historical romance, and it was not that. It is not that. I mean, unless I stopped kind of halfway through. I really enjoyed the beginning. I did. And I thought, oh, I'm really going to like this. I like historical fiction. But it just started to become, to me, very hodgepodgey, and I couldn't put it together, and I couldn't make it make sense in my head. And then I just felt like, I don't even know why I'm reading this. I mean, I knew what was going on. So as she's, she sort of inserts herself in this. She wants to go. She's young, and she wants to go and help preserve the books. She wasn't invited, but she just sort of thinks, well, they need all the help they can get. And she's trying to find herself. And so it's, I guess maybe that's the feeling of this sort of like not having a solid place, not having a solid agenda, or but yeah, I think I was just looking for a little bit more. I don't know, but it just wasn't landing with me. So maybe I'll pick it back up, but more than likely I will not. Yeah, so. And then these two, The Silent Wife, Carrie Fisher, and The Silent Wife, Asa Harrison. I did another video that I will link where I compared these two, same title, different books. I highly recommend this one. It was sort of a psychological thriller. It was very good. This was just sort of like I don't even know, just family drama fiction. And it did not do anything for me. I didn't relate to any of the characters. I didn't find it, very good. But I enjoyed comparing them. And so I will link those videos. And then with my daughter, we read Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I don't have the desk cover anymore, but this was turned into a movie. And so we are going to watch the movie, but we read this over the series, or over a couple of months, and it was really good. My daughter really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. You got the perspective of several of the different characters. Your main character is August Pullman, and he has a certain disease, and I should have, now I don't remember it because, but it was sort of where when he was born, his facial structure, his features weren't necessarily in the right spot. And so it's almost as if things sort of drooped down. You know, his eyes are a little bit lower, his ears are lower, his mouth wasn't perfectly formed in order to, you know, close his mouth for speaking, for eating, things like that. And so he had lots of surgeries before he was, you know, very old. I think it was like 20 something surgeries before he was in elementary school or something like that. But it doesn't affect anything else. I mean, he's a smart kid. He's funny, and you know, his family adores him. He has an older sister, Olivia, and the mother pushes initially to have him go to school for the first time, and he's going into fifth grade. And the dad is like, I don't know that he's ready for this. I don't know that we're ready for this. And he goes, and of course, you know, kids are shocked by his face. And you know, you have some kids, most of them, that are just, you know, they'll stare or they'll say something or they don't want to touch him. And his experience entering is the principal decides, well, I'll bring in like 4 really good kids that can give him a tour before school actually starts so that he knows where he's going, and he has like 4 friends potentially. And so they do this, and one of the boys is one of those kids where he's really nice and polite in front of the adults, but he's not a nice kid. And he's one of them. And then there's another boy who, he is a good kid. And then there was a girl. And so I'm sorry, it was 3 kids and him. And so when school starts, he's a little bit hopeful or positive or brave to go and try. And the one boy that really isn't nice, you know, of course he says stuff and does stuff, and you know, he has a rough go of it. He definitely has a rough go of it. But he makes friends, and it's the whole experience of the school year and who he becomes friends with and how things evolve. And then you get his sister's perspective, and she's older by about 4 years, 3 or 4 years. And that's very interesting. And then you get, I think it was like her boyfriend's perspective, and then one of the other friends. And so it's just a really interesting story of how people perceive families, and what you think when you look at a family and everything. Really good book. Really good book. So she really liked it. I really liked it. I know it's not new, but definitely recommend. This came out, gosh, in 2012. It's been around for a while. So this was my reading for November, and I will finish this. Like I said, I have a couple days. I can still finish that. And even though I didn't finish the 16 pleasures, I enjoyed the beginning. And then it lost me. So looking forward to December and my reading in December and my relaxing in December and my enjoying the holidays in December. All of those things. And I wish that for you too. And so thank you for watching, and if you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate that. And until next time, I will be reading.